Hi everyone, I'm Jan from Pins and Needles and in Cleveland, Ohio, and sewItonline.com. Have you ever thought about owning an embroidery machine? What I'm going to do is give you an education on what embroidery is all about, what a sewing machine is all about, so that you got some ideas and some kind of an education so you can make an educated decision if you personally would use it. I got samples. We'll play around and just do this very informally. So let's have some fun. So this is a 3600D. Now, this is a full sewing machine and a full embroidery machine. Now, the advantage of that is that it's got everything in one component. So you can buy this machine as embroidery only, and you can buy this machine basically as sewing only. This one puts it together, but it's at a fabulous, fabulous price. So it's a very smart move. Now, I'm going to worry about embroidery a little bit today, but let's just do an overview of some of the fun things. On sewitonline.com, we have complete classes for you, and I'd really suggest if you do get a machine, or even if you have a machine and you're not using all this cool stuff, you get involved in my classes because we make you do it. So it makes it a lot of fun, but you want to use your machine that you purchased to the full value of what you got. So just as an overview for sewing, and I have the machine set up today for embroidery, but I'll also do one on sewing for you so you can see. Now, what is the value of all this stuff up here? And I'm going to show you, did you know your machine can sew completely sideways? Yes. So what would happen is if you had a big quilt in here, you can tell the machine to go click, 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 and tell it to go completely sideways. Come on down here on your square, go across here on your square, and go up the square. Pretty doggone cool. I can even take a heart, put some a straight stitch, another heart, straight stitch, another heart. So you're able to quilt your whole quilts on the regular sewing machine. So one of the reasons why I like this so much is it's got a little bit bigger berth here than what your machine does. So it's going to accommodate some of our bigger quilts. I'm sure you've tried to quilt a quilt on your sewing machine, and it's a big job to be able to do that. So as I'm starting right now, I'm going to set it up for embroidery and teach you a little bit about embroidery. Then I'll show you how I quilt my own quilts on here. So first thing I want to do is to bring you over to my screen. And so when I turn it on, and I'll tell you why I like this particular machine over other manufacturers, is ease of operation. Now, so I can sit down at these machines, and you haven't run them in a while. Of course, I have probably 75 machines out front, but it's very, very simple and intuitive. So it's really easy. You're going to see when you go into here, all I did was turn it on, and I can tell it will come right up to embroidery because I have the embroidery unit on. When I put my regular unit on, it comes up for regular sewing automatically. I don't have to do a thing. Now, so I can go into here and I can get all these different decorative stitches. Let's go back. I can do buttonholes in the hoop. Now, why do you want that? I betcha you've done a jacket that needs 3 buttons down here. And then what happens is one doesn't come out right and you did this whole work. I'm going to teach you how to put it in a hoop. So you can lay your jacket here, and we can line up a buttonhole here, a buttonhole here, and a buttonhole here. And when you have hooped embroidery, everything comes out perfect. So you know how we are, all as sewers, we say, oh, but you got this gorgeous quilt you made, but you go, well, you can see my mistake there, and you can see my mistake there. That's us being stupid women. That is, your stuff is gorgeous. No one's going to notice that little thing. It's just our thing that we do. We all do it. On an embroidery machine, everything comes out perfect, so you never get to say that anymore. So over here is just decorative stitches with embroidery, or buttonholes with embroidery. I'm going to go back, and in here, you can go right through the screen, and there's all kinds of decorative designs in there. So I have everything from little kids' designs. I have adult, just everything, pretty much every holiday is in there. But what designs come with your machine don't really mean anything, because nowadays there's millions and millions of designs on the internet, many for free, many for very little money. So designs were, 20 years ago, designs were so expensive. It's just not that way no more. You can even buy a software program for very inexpensive, under $200, and you can start digitizing, meaning creating your own designs. So I have grandsons, and they're into soccer, so I have to do their soccer logos because I can do it on more shirts than their original one. I even did my grandson's school logos. So fun stuff you can do. Put it here, put it on their backpack, put it on whatever, you know, it's just really kind of fun to do. So that's another avenue we will go down later on. All I want you to know is if you get the right embroidery machine, you can grow with it, and it's nothing you're going to replace. So once you get one, boom, you're going. Okay, so I got lots of designs built in. There's hundreds. In fact, I probably should read over here. 233 built-in embroidery designs. It's going to keep you busy for a while. Now, the wonderful thing about Brother is that we have Disney. So they've paid for the rights for Disney. Now, look at all of those. But then, guess what? Once you open it up, see, I open up that file. So let's go back. So those are like different files. So I've got files of Winnie the Pooh, files of princesses. So when I touch the princesses, I can go through and pick out different princesses to do. They have them all, believe me. Now the wonderful joy about Brother is they have made a website called Embroidery. And iembroidery.com allows Brother owners to be able to go to that website and buy all the Disney characters, all the Star Wars characters, and all the Marvel characters now. Now you have to purchase them, but they're not expensive. They're $4, $8. I got a great big Star Wars Jedi for $8. It was well worth it to go on the back of a hoodie for my grandson because he's into that. So that's kind of a fun thing that you're only going to get on a Brother product. So see down here it says Brother Disney, but if you have a Brother product and you register it, you get to go to the Disney website. So that's something if you have little ones in your family or you yourself, or my husband's a big Star Wars fan, so I can put that. I even did it at the holidays where I put it on a blanket because he's into that. He loves it. So it was just kind of fun for me to do, and he appreciated it. So let's go back. So I talked to you about Disney. Cars, everything is in here. All right. So now what I'm going to do is just go into more, and I got all kinds of lettering. It's got lettering this big. I did it on all kinds of towels. So here, I'll just pull it up. Bring it up, and I'm going to bring B. Do you see the B? So it's going to, I can set it. See, right down here is like enter on your computer. I can now move it, I can size it, I can rotate it, so I can make it bigger. See how easy that is? I can size it, I can change it, I can mirror image it, I can add another word down at the bottom. It's all very, very simple, just like you've been doing on your word art program or anything in your computer. Believe me, I'm not computer fabulous savvy. I do lots with machines. I do lots with our software. But it's very, very simple for us to teach anybody how to do it. The classes are going to come with it. So if you're far away or if you're near, you can come in person, but you can also get these all virtual. So we do have them step by step by step to teach you. So that's what I'm doing, is doing a big lettering like that, and it's very, very simple to do. So let's go back. Okay, let's go out of here. Okay, now this is just lettering. Now what's cool about this machine is it's got 6 different styles of lettering. So you see when I come in here? Now I can take any of this lettering, and I'm going to show you. I can make it tiny, 1/2 inch, and I can make it large. So it allows you to do a lot with the lettering that comes with the machine. And they did a really good job. Watch. See, they've got all different styles of lettering for us also. So then these are frames. So let's just for fun take this heart. Now I got 14 different ways how I can do that heart. So I'm just going to choose number 6 because I want to show you 2 colors. We're going to do a very small one, so I'm going to take about 4 minutes so it doesn't take any more of your time. And I'm going to set it. So now what I want to do, this is going to do a heart for me. So I want to add a name. So now I'm going to go in. Did you see how I just put add? Sorry, I went a little bit too fast. And I'm going to put Brooklyn in it because I have a brand new grandbaby. So I'm going to go and I'm going to go get lowercase. Do you see how I'm just taking it over here? B-R-O-O-K-L. I got to go one more step. Watch. Y. Now I have to go back. Now, if you spend $5,000 on a machine, it's all going to be on one, where I had to, on one page. So it's not a big deal to just toggle through it to be able to do that. Do you see I have Brooklyn absolutely perfect for me? I'm going to push set. Remember this little button right here. There's my Brooklyn. What do I want to do first? Move it up a little bit. So I can do it by hand, or I can move it by my screen. So it's a touch screen I can change. I'm going to size it down just a little bit. Do you see how the arrows are all facing down? Or I could face it higher, or I could make it taller or wider. But I'm just going to make it a tinge smaller. Brooklyn's a big name. Okay, so I'm okay. So now I'm going to end edit because I'm done. I'm happy. But what I could do is take this whole thing and move it down. I should have put it together, but I didn't. See, now what I'm doing, and I'm going to move it down. There's an easier way to do this. I could have done it in one step, but I'm doing this and making me nervous. So here we go. Edit, end, edit. Okay, I'm ready. There I am. So now all I'm going to have to do is put my bobbin in. It's a very, very, very simple bobbin. I'll show you that when we get to the sewing part. But one thing about it is that you never have to bring your bobbin thread up. Is that not a cool feature? You don't know what a new machine's going to do for you. Okay, so I got it in here. I'm going to teach you in your classes what stabilizer to use and all that kind of stuff. There's no reason for you to do it now. Now, one of my favorite things about this machine is the threading. So let's go over that a little bit. What it's going to do, there's just some features that are fabulous. The first thing you're always going to do is put your needle up, your needle down. So that put the needle in the exact position for you to sew. Now I'm going to go through, and there's a line telling me 1, 2, 3, 4. You probably can see number 5 here. All right. And then we're going to come down here to number 6. Now watch this. I'm going to go to here to number 7. Got to get my head out of your way because I know you're trying to see. So now I've done it. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to push this button and the presser foot's going to go down. And watch this. Now watch. Don't miss this part. I come on down and it threads the needle for me. I don't know about you, but that's one of my favorite features. If you purchase a new machine, a needle threader is not a needle threader. Meaning a lot of machines say, oh, it's got a needle threader. That don't mean it works like these, and it don't mean it works half the time. So we can see. So now what do I want to do? I want to push it to embroidery. Do you see how it's ready? Now look at the screen here. The screen tells me I have my first color in, and it's going to take 2 minutes. The whole design is going to take 5, and I have 3 color changes. Now, I don't have to do it that way, but let me get started so I can show you. And it's 3,100 stitches. So my presser foot is down. Do you see how I have the green light? Guess what? I'm ready to go. I don't have to do anything more because my green light is telling me I'm all set. It will stop if your thread breaks or you ran out of bobbin thread or something. The machine will just stop. So I hope you can hear me over this. So it's going to go ahead and do the first color. When it gets done, I'll stop and put in a second color, and then we'll go ahead and do the third color to show you how it's done and how simple of it is. So it's doing it, and what the embroidery arm does is goes around. Now, why do you want this machine over another machine? First of all, I have lots of machines. So you can buy an embroidery machine with a 4x4 hoop. That means the size of the hoop here. Okay? So we can graduate 4x4, and that's going to allow what the sewing field is. You can't buy a bigger hoop for a smaller machine. You get me? So the reason why I like this is because it gives you, there's nothing that you would take a class on or you would see or a design that you can't do in a 6x10-inch hoop. So do you see that size? That's called the sewing size. Let me show you some fun things to do. So these are all embroidery. Now do you see how this is all made and this is applique on, and then do you see the quilting in the background? That is a design pack that you buy that you can do those for. Can you tell I have a brand new granddaughter that's having a birthday next week? So here's stuff that we've done. Now when you want to talk about a 4x4 hoop, so if you want to look at my verb on the website, you can do 4x4 designs. But look how you're doing the hoods. Do you see? So that makes it kind of fun. I don't think I did. Oh, I did the front. SpongeBob. See how cute that is? Okay, now look. My 2 minutes is up. Can you believe that? That was pretty fast, huh? Okay, let me teach you something. For all you folks with any sewing machine whatsoever, I'm going to teach you something. I want you to cut your thread here, and I want you to pull it through the needle. Always, always, always. What happens is we have been taught over the years to go, okay? Well, that gets tangled up in here. So the proper way is what I just showed you. We're going to cut it up here, and we're going to pull it. And I know you have a hard time throwing away 12 inches of thread, but do it. Okay, so I'm putting my next color on because it's asking for the next color. Notice I don't have to do a darn thing to get onto my next color. And I'm threading the machine. It goes in the spot up here all by itself. Remember how we used to have to care for that? Now watch the needle threader again. So all I do is do that. I'm going to put the presser foot down, and I'm going to push this down, and it threaded the needle. I'm using a cool variegated thread. Let's see how it looks. So it's doing color 2, which is just a little circle in the middle. And then it's going to go up and do Brooklyn, which I'll do in the variegated thread too, rather than have you stop. Now what's cool about this, watch. See what it's doing? It cut the thread in between. So I'm jumping. It looks like a little leaf. So if I'm jumping from here to here, the machine will cut the thread. That's a very important feature. When you look at other companies and other machines like that, you're not going to find that feature on a price at this price point. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So let me just show you some more. Look at the little things we're making in the hoop. The bunny is all made in the hoop. You think, oh, they stitched around it. Well, I let my machine do it. All I left was a little opening, stuffed it, and was able to do it. Same thing with the pot holder, or you can use it to put your bills in, whatever you want to be able to do. These things are done in the hoop. The hoop is doing the ruffling. The hoop is sewing the two pieces together and doing this quilting. We are no longer just doing a SpongeBob on a sweatshirt. We're creating whole projects on the sewing machine. Now I got a lot of things here that I want to show you. In the Sewing Avenue too. But to understand, do you see what's happening? It's cutting the thread and it's zipping around. But I'm not doing nothing. So I could be cutting out my next project. I could be doing lots of fun stuff to be able to do with it. One of the cool things now is we have all our decorative stitches on the machine, which we're going to go over, but we also have the embroidery. So when you do little things like this, what I love to do is I love quilted fabric. Meaning, remember we used to buy it and it was all pre-quilted and top and bottom, and it's very expensive nowadays to buy that. So I make a lot of things that I've quilted in the hoop, meaning I've used my batting, and my topping, and we quilt right through the entire thing. So I am now placing this on the hoop, letting it do my giraffe, letting it do my elephant. You can understand how. And then I'm telling the machine to go around and do my stippling. I rehoop. And we will teach you to line that up exactly perfectly to keep on going. So does it take a few minutes? Yeah. But are you able to finish your whole quilt? If you can see this, this is just a panel. But isn't it cute how the lettering is all around it? But we took the panel and we quilted the entire thing to make it look like it was done on a long arm on an embroidery machine. So it's very doable and it's lots of fun. Okay, look. It stopped and told me check and rethread my upper needle. So it told me. Now usually what that happens, oh look it went right around here. Do you see how that's going? It's pulling too much together. I don't usually use this. I'm going to take it off. Okay, no big deal. So I'm just going to rethread the machine. You're not going to believe it, but the machine will back up 5 stitches, so it never is a problem. Check and rethread upper thread. It told me I can go right on into here and I can back up. Put my needle down. Now I'd like to tell you that I did that on purpose, but I didn't. It did it, and it's going to happen to you too. So you just don't even let anything worry you. It's always a simple little fix to be able to do. So it's all done with my flower. Nope, still working, sorry. We still got part of that to do. That's gonna be the hardest thing because it's cutting every little stop and starting. See how it does it? If you buy a machine that isn't at this caliber, you're gonna be going in and trimming all that. So that's another reason why this value is so awesome for you. So it's gonna go ahead and then it's just gonna sew Brooklyn and I'm going to have the whole thing done for me. Back to sewing, now what do I wanna do? Some types fun. And I'm gonna show you, but if you look at the stitches, there are stitches on the machine. It isn't like our old singers. It isn't like Grandma's machine. It's got a bunch of stitches you never use. You want to take the online classes that we offer to teach you what those are. Because there's awesome, awesome techniques like I was showing you how you can sew sideways. Here you go, where it's doing the entree stitch. Can you believe that, where it's sewing on the lace? Look at the gorgeous stitching that it can do to be able to do. So whether you're making doll clothes or little clothes or whatever, you're having a lot of fun. This looks like it's done, the whole quilting stitch. It looks like we did that by hand, and yet it's all by the machine. The value of this machine is that it gives me all the embroidery features, 6x10. Again, nothing, I mean nothing you can't do until you want to go up to a triple price point, okay? So there's nothing you can't do. You can quilt your own quilts, you can do your own embroidery, you can do all the decorative stitches, you can sew sideways. So it's a tremendous value for the machine. And you can check on this, but please, if you decide you're interested in this machine, I want you to take the Sew It Online classes to go along with it. So this is going to just continue and to go ahead and sew Brooklyn on there. I think you get the feel for what it is. I'll be showing you more on what the sewing part can do, but as an overall machine for such a fabulous, fabulous price, it's regular $59.99. It's on sale for $34.99. There's financing you can do. You can call the store at Pins and Needles, or you can go to sewitonline.com and buy it right through there. So click the button below and we can even call you and answer your questions. Don't hesitate to call me, my staff. We know everything about all these different machines and we will help you decide what is absolutely best for you. But please, if you buy a machine from us, please take our education. It's something that I've done for 40 years that I want anybody that buys a machine to use it. I hate the fact that people buy expensive machines and then all they do is straight stitching. So I don't want to hold up any more of your time, but look, it's ready to take my next color. I'm not going to change colors, so all I have to do is put my presser foot back down and I just go, and it's going to do Brooklyn for me, and I'm going to take this home and I'm going to wipe her face with it just because it makes my heart sing. You know what, a one-year-old, brand new, birthday next week is very, very, very exciting to a grandma. So look at this real quick where you can see the coloring coming through, and you can see where I made it look a little bit special because I'm using variegated thread. If you get into our education, I do a whole series just on thread. Thread isn't thread anymore. There's weights from 90 weight down to 10 weight. So stay with me. You got any questions, don't hesitate to call. Click below, we'll respond to you. Thanks for joining me. Hope to talk to you soon.